In my last video, I had talked about retirement planning, and that planning was mainly for younger people who are in their 20s, 30s, 40s. If you want to see that video, the link is provided in the description below. But today I am going to talk about retirement planning for people who have not yet planned for their retirement and they are already crossed 50. Now the question to ask is whether it is too late. I hope not. So let us see what people in their 50s can do to kickstart their retirement planning. So if you are in your 50s, I expect that you would not have any debt on you and are completely debt free. If not, that is the first thing to target. Try and pay off your debt as fast as possible, so that the amount that you were saving to pay off your loan is now free for investments. Next is to determine your target corpus at retirement. Easier said than done, because there are so many factors which affect this corpus. First thing you will need to do is assess what are your expenses as of now and how they are going to increase as per inflation over the decades to come. The main expenses that you will face as a retiree are your regular living expenses, your medical expenses and your travel expenses. I expect that you will want to travel a lot, so you will need to think of what your travel corpus is going to be. Medical expense is really hard to fathom. I of course would definitely recommend that you buy medical insurance and you buy a very high amount of medical insurance so that you do not require any special medical fund to be kept aside. Now you can see how much money you have as of now, so that will give you the shortfall. Now once you have an idea of the shortfall, you will know how much you need to accumulate in the short years that remain to achieve your target corpus. So now it means that you have to aggressively start investing, saving and investing. But this investment cannot be into aggressive portfolios. You will have to have an asset allocation in which the debt or the fixed income kind of investments are more and the equity kind of investments are lesser. Of course, all this will depend on your risk profile, your amount to be generated, and also the time remaining for you to do all this. You will need to consult an advisor to actually determine what proportion of investments would be in fixed income and in equity. The last alternative that I can suggest is postpone your retirement. Now this step you may have to think of, because firstly you have started late in your planning for retirement. Secondly, as I have always been saying, that our lifespans are continuously increasing. So even if you retire at 65, you can look at a retired life of three decades, which is 30 to 35 years, and you will have to make do with this corpus that you accumulate for the next 35 years. You have to take into consideration inflation and how that will affect your living expenses for the next 3 decades. And once you think of all that, you may realize that the corpus that you are thinking of accumulating may not be sufficient. In that case, the only alternative would be to take on either some gainful employment or to do some kind of income earning work. Fortunately, this is now not so difficult, because people who have years of experience in their respective fields are coveted and are sought after. So consultancy work is something everybody can look at. This can increase your working life by another 5 years or so. In conclusion, I can only say that if you have not thought of retirement planning till now, the time to start is absolutely now. Because if not, then it will be too late for you. If all that I have told you about the calculations and the allocations appear to be too complicated for you, you ought to look at a financial advisor to advise you. But don't take this lightly. because the financial management of your corpus is very important, and you will need an expert to guide you through the whole process. This is Yogen Sabnis. Thank you for watching.